the plethora of matchups that we have this weekend. What about those Texas Longhorns, ranked number 3 in the country, 4-0 for the first time since 2012? They welcome Kansas in a matchup of 2 of the last 3 undefeated teams in the Big 12. It's the first of consecutive games for Texas against ranked opponents, with Oklahoma looming next week. Texas, undefeated, could go to 5-0, Acho, for the first time since 2009 when they made it to that national championship.
I was on that team.
I didn't want to bring it up.
I know. Oh, yeah.
I didn't want to bring it up.
We lost. We were undefeated until we lost. I was like, we were undefeated, then we played Alabama.
I just wanted to bring it up factually. What comparisons to that team and this team are there, if any, that exist as it relates to being undefeated and, hey, one of the top teams in the country?
I wouldn't necessarily say go comparisons, and I think you could compare, but I think what Sark wants to do, right, getting a chance to be around the team, talk to Sark, some of the players, they're not thinking about the past and any history. They're thinking about where they're going. They're going to the SEC. And so that game against Alabama, you call that a barometer game, but that was just the beginning of the litmus test. Now you got to go and prove you can win week in and week out against this Kansas team that loves to run the ball. Kansas has some really great weapons. Jalen Daniels at quarterback. Yes, he can run, but he wants to keep his eyes down the field. Like, that's what they want to do. And then defensively, they got some playmakers. Kobe Bryant for Kansas is a playmaker. That huge hit last week. Kenny Logan, their safety, captain. So this will be a true test, right? You cannot look past Kansas looking towards Oklahoma. But I think if you want to really be legit, like talk about those teams that win consistently, whether you talk about Texas back in the day or Alabama over the last several years, you have to not just win, but I think dominate in a game like this.
Very deservedly in that number 3 spot then, in your estimation.
I would say yes, based off what we've seen this first 4 weeks.
Oh,
right?
They've earned everything they have. And by the way, look, 17.5 points is a lot. There's only 3 ranked teams in the Big 12: Kansas, Texas, Oklahoma.
Yep.
You get 2 of them in a row.
Yep.
Texas just can't stub their toe. Quinn Ewers has to continue to be a Heisman Trophy-looking quarterback.
Yep.
Because I don't think you can stub your toe in the Big 12 and make the college football.
Yeah, that's facts. But it's more than about Quinn. I think it's about the defense. Guys like Jahdae Barron had the interception against Alabama, had that scoop and score against TCU last year in that huge game. It's about guys like Barron Sorrell. He's a younger-ish player who, in that big run and against Alabama last year, gave up, contained, if you will, right? Jalen Ford, he's their star inside linebacker. Guys like that need to step up in a game like this in case Quinn isn't playing well, in case your running game isn't going. Your defense needs to be the thing that carries you. That's what all these Alabama teams, yes, great offense, great quarterback, right? But it's the defense that needs to be consistent. That's what I'm hoping to see in a game like this. Because then you play Oklahoma, that defense better be ready then, too.
And is there anything that you see from this Kansas offense, maybe specifically, that you think could give the Texas defense a test?
It's their run game. Sure. I mean, the one thing about this Kansas offense, they run – They'll get in the exact same formation and run 3 different plays out of the exact formation, right? They'll do a speed option. He'll keep it once. He'll pitch it once. He'll give it once. Defenses won't know what to do. That's what they do on the offensive side. And also, they have that speed option play, but they do something called a cheese route, right? They want to get the defenders biting the cheese. This play right here, all the defenders are up at the front. I mean, I know, but don't eat the cheese. Don't bite the cheese because they'll get behind you in the end zone. So that's what they do. I talked to one of their defenders, Jahdae Barron. We talked to him yesterday. He was like, man, they want you to jump the short routes. We have to play deep to short, top down. That's what they do really, really well in addition to their running game.
How do they pull off the upset?
I mean, they did it 2 years ago in overtime. I think they pull off the upset.
The infamous 2-point conversion, yeah.
I think that Kansas pulls off the upset.
You don't want to say but.
Yeah, no, I know, because I'm like, no, but they pull off the upset by doing what they've done all season, right? Their run game has been extremely dynamic, and that's what Lance Leipold has been at Kansas, right? One of the top 5 rushing attacks before Jalen Daniels got hurt last year. He did the same thing at Buffalo. He did the same thing at University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. So it's going to be that run game, but then Jalen Daniels has to do what Jalen Daniels does, which is slice and dice. He's going to be if there's going to be a difference in this game, it will not be the run game per se. It'll be Jalen Daniels getting the ball out. Wyoming game, Texas play Wyoming. They gave a big run. It was 10-10 in the fourth quarter. All of a sudden, Xavier Worthy goes off. So get Jalen Daniels going, but then stop those receivers on the outside. Sure. Stop Xavier Worthy. Kind of talk about the way that USC was sleeping on Arizona State. Get a little bit of that lull, and then get on top of them, and then all of a sudden you won't be able to slow them down. That's what Kansas does.
Jalen Daniels looking to add more of those highlight reel type
plays. To
his chain. Maybe we'll see some of them come by way of his Jayhawks taking on a number 3 team in all of the land. Sam Acho joining the program. You're welcome, America. You're not getting that sort of insight and analysis from anybody else.
Give me some something.